I want to talk to you today about different helmets for welding. My focus is primarily TIG welding, and so I'll be talking to that. Since I started improving my TIG welding, I tried 3 different helmets. The first helmet from Yes Welder, kind of an entry-level, sub $40 helmet. And on the outside, you'll notice it has an adjustment, which is for shade. This is an auto-darkening helmet. You'll see it has a solar cell here. It actually can sense when the arc starts. And when it senses the arc starts, it goes to the level of shade. That is the level of filtering that you've set the helmet to. Now, on this one, there's a shade control on the side. And on the inside, you can increase the sensitivity. That means when does the shade kick on? When does the filter kick on? And there's a delay thing, which I've never used. Also, inside here, because I usually wear glasses, you can actually put in cheater reader magnifying lenses, right? Like you buy at Walgreens. They actually make lenses that you can click inside of the helmet so you can have the magnification you want. This was a great place to start, economical, but honestly don't recommend it if you're going to TIG weld. So after I did this, I spent a few more bucks and got the next level up Yes Welder. This has the level of shade adjustment here, sensitivity adjustment. It lets you flip between grind and weld. But the big thing it does is it adds a bigger field of view. And this was a positive thing. I really did find this a better helmet and enjoyed it more. But these two both fall into the same category, which is fixed shade. In other words, you set the shade, and then when it senses you have an arc, the shade kicks on to that level. Here's the problem with TIG. With TIG, you're having a huge amount of current go through your workpiece up to this tungsten electrode. And as a result of that, you're creating a high power arc right at the point of welding, which is great, right? That's what you need. The problem is, especially tubular steel materials that have an inside, that there still may be some stuff that's dirty. If you encounter organic material, it can flare. You basically have an ignition event. The stuff burns. And when you have a fixed shade in your helmet, what ends up happening is that manifests as a flare of significantly increased brightness, and you'll be temporarily flash blind. So what I found was with these two helmets, when I adjusted the shade to where I wanted it, when those flares occurred, I'd be temporarily blinded. Now, TIG, you're adding material, you're adjusting the pedal to make sure you got the right amount of current, and if I lose it, if I can't see what I'm doing, the weld goes to hell. So what does this do? Now, it's more expensive, a couple times more expensive than these helmets, but it adds intelligent shade control. So what this helmet does, besides having a bigger panoramic view, is it senses flare. It senses when something changes in the arc, and it auto-adjusts your shade. It's got a great display inside where you have the auto sense control. Now you can make it a manual where you can adjust the shade levels and fix all that stuff. I never use it. By hitting the mode button inside, I set this up always to the auto shade control, and it's fantastic. It also does auto sensitivity. And frankly, when I got it, I turned it on all auto, and it made it so I didn't have to mess with the 3 knobs and work perfect. So I strongly recommend, for TIG welding especially, where you can potentially have the inside of the material dirty or places where you can't get to clean, this helmet eliminated all the flash blindness and flares that I saw with these other 2 products. Good products, but highly recommend the upgrade to the auto shade control.